Hello, everyone, and welcome back for the fifth episode of the Bracken Buzz podcast. Even after a couple months of no new episodes, I am still your host, Colin Jarrell. Apologies for no new episode for a while, as I went on a mission trip to Arizona in mid July and returned home with a sickness that got me down for over a month. And then I started school back at NKU, and ever since it has been nonstop go, go, go. Probably a little bit like everyone's lives nowadays. However, the Bracken Buzz is back, and today I am sitting down with Sally Kalb of St. Vincent De Paul. Welcome, Sally.
Hi, it's good to be here.
Yes, good to have you. So, today we will be discussing what St. Vincent de Paul is, what resources are offered through them, and how we as a community can get involved with the incredible work that they are doing. So, let's go ahead and jump in. So, Sally, tell us a little bit about yourself and what St. Vincent de Paul is.
Colin, I am a retired educator, and during my time as an administrator and a teacher, I learned that many of our community doesn't live like I did, that life was more of a struggle. I'm also have been very a faith-based person from the get-go, and it's always been a strong part of my life. And in the Bible it says, "Feed the poor, feed the take care of the alien, help those who are struggling," like over and over. And so after I retired, and I mean really retired, because it took me a while after the first retirement, we had St. Vincent de Paul come to our two parishes, St. James and St. Augustine, here in Bracken County, to make a presentation about what their work does and what we could do in our community. And there was a group of people within the two churches who have become like the nucleus, who have worked to build the program, and that began in June of 2021.
Okay.
We probably did not get our first official outreach until November of 21. It took that long to get prepared and to understand. St. Vincent de Paul has been around for many years. It's an international organization that was started in France. And Vincent de Paul, who was a priest, who we call St. Vincent de Paul, had a deep feeling, charism for the poor. And Rosalie Rondeau, the same thing. And so they built their organization in France. It came to America, and back in 19, I can't find my date here. Back in like the mid 1950s or so, it started here in Northern Kentucky. And we have 31 conferences in 7 counties. Now, a conference is like a chapter.
Okay.
Like we're a conference for St. Augustine and St. James. But the theory is that we are neighbors helping neighbors, or we are a neighbor you can count on. And we are here to help you through a obstacle or a bump. And it can be a variety of things, but maybe rent or utilities, food. Maybe they need diapers and they don't know how to get diapers. Because we try to work in resources and help each other, but we're here to provide hope.
Well, thank you. Yes. So you kind of alluded to it, but what kind of got you into working with St. Vincent de Paul?
It's my faith and the fact that we had the opportunity. I have always heard about St. Vincent de Paul, and everybody, when we had our first organizational meeting, thought we were going to open a store right away. And that wasn't the part. I don't think people realized about the visits and the working one-to-one with them. Or we work in pairs with our clients, with the people, the cases that call. But it's based on my faith and that we should help people. and that, and I'll have to tell you a story. One time I was having a political discussion with someone, and they said that it wasn't the government's role to help the poor, it was the churches.
Mm.
And it really made me think. And
Yeah.
it wasn't a possible, it wasn't something I could do right then.
Mm-hmm.
But I had, studied and thought about it, and I thought it was a God wink. God was telling me I needed to help the poor, to help people who are struggling.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it could be any one of us at any one time
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
with a medical issue, or if you lose your transportation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm. So, what types of services, assistance, other programming are available to citizens in the community?
Okay. With St. Vincent?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So when you are struggling and you don't know how you're going to pay an electric bill or your rent, or because you got laid off, um, you had to pay a medical bill, you lost your car and you don't have a way to work, so you've lost your job. There are a variety of reasons, and I have met with several people. I mean, many people in the last 4 years, and it's not because they're lazy. It's because they've had one or two or maybe a string of incidents that barriers they have had trouble overcoming.
Mm-hmm.
So you would call our assistance line 1-859-341-3219 between the hours of 10 and 2, and that's answered in a call center in Northern Kentucky. And you give the basic information. And then they send the case to whichever conference. And we get all of Bracken County. So when the case comes, I receive it. And I will call them and I will ask them, what's going on? Just give me a little information. And then they always want to talk. Everybody is okay talking because they need somebody to listen.
Right.
And so we can offer rent and utility assistance. We can offer, and we try to remove the barriers. We might even help with something other than utilities for money. If it's a barrier to getting to work, we might help with a car repair. We might help with, if it's internet and it's school, especially during COVID, we helped with the internet.
Mm-hmm.
How can you job search today if you don't have the internet?
Right.
Or we might pay an insurance payment, a minimal insurance payment to keep it on the road till they can get to their work. We also have helped with some specialized medical needs. Then we also can provide, we have a food pantry at the school, at our churches, both churches. We take food when we always make a home visit. After I have talked to them, 2 caseworkers will pick it up and they will make a home visit. And take food. Then and then food sometimes we just take in between cases because maybe it's the weekend and their food stamps don't come till Monday. And they've got 3 kids. We're not going to let them starve.
Right.
So we take them the basics to get through till the weekend. We also have a bed program for anybody 17 and under, or seniors, or a disabled adult. It's free bed that comes straight to their home. Well, used to come straight to their home. Now we have to pick it up. We have vouchers for all of our stores in Northern Kentucky. And we also kind of become a middleman on donated furniture. People would love for us to come and pick up their furniture. And we will donate that. We try to store it in 2 places at our churches, and then we can be the conduit to get it to the client when they need it. So that's one of the things. But if not, they can take a furniture voucher to the stores in Northern Kentucky. We, at Christmas and the holidays, Thanksgiving, we do holiday meals in conjunction with Catholic Charities, which
Okay.
is another social service organization out of Northern Kentucky, but it serves our county because of our churches. And then we also do Adoptive Angels. We do Christmas. We help Bracken County and Augusta Family Resources, but we also help additional families who don't meet the deadline at the Family Resources because it's, it's just a difficult thing. And
Right.
it's easier for us to do the very last minute ones. It's not because Family Resource isn't doing a wonderful.
Right.
It's because it's the timing of it. And so we help shop and the families tell us what they need. In addition, so that's kind of the basics. We pray before we go in, and we always ask to pray with the client if they're comfortable with that. We do not want to force anyone's certain faith on there, but we want them to know there's hope, and the hope is through God.
Right.
And right now, the St. Vincent de Paul.
Yes. So you had talked a little bit about the St. Vincent de Paul store. Where's the closest one to us in Bracken County?
There are 4 stores that our conference, our council, Northern Kentucky Council, and one is in Falmouth, that's your closest. They have excellent store, and they usually have a lot of furniture. Some of the, like the floods and things in the last year has wiped them out quite a bit, but they are excellent. They also have a food pantry in that store.
And where are they located?
In Falmouth.
Okay.
I don't have the street. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine.
But on every voucher, every store is listed with the address.
Okay, yes. Well, that's the good thing.
Then Cold Springs has a store right across, or right next to Bob Evans. There is one in Crescent Springs / Erlanger on Dixie Highway.
Okay.
That's our main store, our main warehouse. And then we have one in Florence. And that one is out where the American Freight store is, and out by the post office in Florence. Not as much furniture in Florence because we promise not to compete against American Freight as much.
Right.
I forgot we do have 2 other programs that are only in the summer, but we can get free fans for everyone at the main store in Crescent Springs. And if a doctor says that you would benefit or need an air conditioner, we have air conditioners that we can, but they do go pretty fast. That it's not an unlimited supply.
Right. Yeah.
So those are our 4 stores. You can drop off if you want to at any one of those stores if you're down there. You usually just pull in the back of the store, and they have an open door. And we even take things that you would throw away, your clothes that you would throw away as rags, because they can recycle that, and they get some money for that. Now, let's talk about the money from the stores. That money's not paying for executives. I mean, this is a very tight, organized group, and it's very charity-based. The money from the stores comes back to the conferences. So we have a set amount that we usually will go up to as our local conference on any one bill or one client per year. But if we see a need that's greater than what we usually pay, and it would get the client over the barrier and get them back on their feet, then we can ask the council for money, and they will twin, is what we call the process. Also, other conferences for the other 30 churches in the Diocese of Covington, they will chip in if we have a huge. We help someone get back on their feet with a mortgage payment, but it was a collaborative effort. We had a donation, we had our local contribution, we had the council contribution, and we had other conferences help us. So it's solving problems together to help someone get on their feet.
Absolutely.
So all the money comes back out. It's not, and
As it should be. For any charity, it should not be going to pay salaries.
and they bring us food. That we'll get big pallets of food for our food pantries. They have a big coat drive, and they get coats, and they'll sometimes buy coats and things. They help us with all of that. We get donated coats too, but we also can go to the council and get more donated coats if we don't have a size or we need more. So they are fantastic with helping us.
So do you see that the program is pretty well utilized in Bracken County, or is it kind of a little less than what you would think or hope that people would know about it?
It started off a little bit slow because it was new. And even though you put out flyers and cards and numbers, and in various places that you think they would need to see it, it was, they didn't always see that information. They usually found it from word of mouth, neighbor to neighbor.
Right.
But no, I think we're well utilized. Do I think everybody that could benefit, that might need help, always calls us? No. Pride sometimes, lack of knowledge. It could be both. It could be those. Or they're just, they think they're going to be able to make it. Do we have people that come back more than once? Yes. Number one, my belief from God is that we don't judge. And that's kind of the mindset that as an organization, we looked at that. Now, we are always working to get them back on their feet.
Right.
And if we give recommendations and, go check out this program, use the food banks, and if they don't do any of that, then we will say no. So that is, but that's not first time, and it's probably not the second time. We usually, every conference has their own bylaws and how many times they will help a year and how much they will help per year. So that is how we look at that. But I'm telling you, Colin, we have no idea how people are making it out there. I have a client makes minimum wage, raising 3 kids, and her car broke down.
Wow.
So, and no child support so that is tough. And so we've recommended all the resources and things that we can.
Right. Yeah. So, how can the community be involved in the work that St. Vincent De Paul is doing? You had mentioned some donation opportunities and possibly some fundraising opportunities. Are there volunteer or how do you be involved in the donation drives, things like that?
Okay. First of all, I wanted to make a shout out though to we have great resources in Bracken County. When we first started, we had the most food banks and food pantries of anybody in the Buffalo Trace area. And when I have a client move out of the county and I try to find them the same resources, I cannot. In Lexington, Bourbon County, I could not find those same resources. So I just want to shout out to Bracken County that and I want to shout out to other churches that we work with. Brooksville Christian, Fairview Christian, Milford Christian. The Presbyterian Church in Augusta has a wonderful food bank. And I'm sure there are other churches and programs helping people. They just keep it more to themselves.
Right. Yeah.
But the ones that I've mentioned, we've all started working together to help a client, and it's been a great partnership. Um, and everybody has different rules and guidelines, and we don't try to tell anybody
Right.
how to do that. We just work within whatever their guidelines are. Okay, so if you want to be involved in St. Vincent de Paul, you can be a member, whether you go to our churches or not. And to be a member can be it can look several ways. You can attend meetings and pray. You can be a caseworker, where you go out with another person, because you go in twos, and you go out to the home, or you meet them at our church, or you meet them where it's most comfortable for them. And not everybody wants to do home visits. They're not comfortable.
Hello? Oh, okay. I can hear you.
Okay, they're not comfortable with that. But so that's why I say there's a variety. We also have to do fundraising, because, first of all, our main source of income is our members of our church. Monthly donations, they can give. They can give a donation whenever they want. Both churches do a fantastic job of keeping us supported. I did a quick some math here just a few minutes ago. Our fiscal year ends Tuesday, and in the last year, cash assistance averages about $4,000 a month.
Wow. That's
But
awesome.
yes, and then so that's quite a bit. But our parish, now that's not all just coming from that.
Right.
We do fundraise. First of all, if you see us alongside of the road picking up trash, old people with neon vests, please stop and help us. Hard work on a summer afternoon.
Yes. I have done it with many school groups, and it is not easy work.
But that is one of our fundraisers. We also we do a pancake supper the Tuesday night before Ash Wednesday, when Lent begins, and it does very well. We just finished our golf scramble last Sunday, and that's probably our biggest fundraiser. Lots of work goes into that, so you could help with that. We have some members who cook for that every year, and that's their contribution. We also have, we did a Snappies fundraiser.
Okay.
Shout out to Tanya and Billy for helping us with that. It worked. It was very lucrative for our group, and those funds will go to help people in our community. So I want to thank the community for also participating. We have we have donations from the parish for food. Magnera does a food drive every spring. They have a big competition, and they have a trophy they made out of spare parts.
Well, wow.
And they pass out to the department that is the winner. It has kept our food pantry for the last 3 years.
Wow.
Stocked almost year round.
That's awesome.
And they also, one of the things when you think about a food pantry, food, important, but toilet paper. Paper products cannot be bought with food stamps. And if you have a little bit of cash, and if you have to pay for personal hygiene products, laundry supplies, so we really appreciate the hygiene items, the laundry supplies, the paper products that we get in a food drive or from our donations at church. So let me check just to see if there's anything else about.
There's lots of opportunities, it sounds like, to
yes.
be involved and help out.
Like I said before, you can donate furniture, and that's another way you could volunteer. Is we need a moving crew. I would say the average age of our organization is 65 or older because of retirement.
Right.
This is not it's hard to do this if you don't have some free time. I will say that I probably work St. Vincent de Paul every day for at least an hour, and some days 6, because I control the database that we use to keep all of our records in, and then between that and home visits and delivering food. But that's a choice I make. You don't have to make that time.
Right.
You can make it whatever works for you.
Mm-hmm.
But we also, the council in Northern Kentucky has the turkey trot the Saturday before Thanksgiving. If you register and participate in that, and you say the Bracken Conference, those funds will come back to us. So, that's another way. If you're a runner or walker, I don't understand that running thing.
Who runs for fun? What the heck?
Who runs unless there's a bear? But anyway, that's another way that the money comes back to help us.
Yeah.
So we work through all those programs, and you can be a member however you want, or you can donate. You can go online at St. Augustine and do giving online there, and it has a St. Vincent De Paul option.
Okay.
So
many opportunities to
yes,
assist with the work that St. Vincent de Paul is doing.
right.
So just to kind of wrap up what we've been talking about, is there anything else that you want to know, that you want people to know about you or the work that St. Vincent de Paul does? You've given us a lot of information, but if there's one thing that you want people to take away, what is it? Sorry, kind of putting you on the spot there.
Well, we have to, neighbors helping neighbors you can count on. And we have to help our neighbor. And that was something when I grew up, and I'm a lot older than you, and, is that we helped each other. If your neighbor was sick, everybody went in and helped do the crop, or if they needed meals, you brought a meal in. We're all so busy today that it's hard. I think we've gotten away from that. And just listening to someone. But there are people out there willing. Oh, there's a new diaper ministry I forgot to share, because we found lots of people, buying diapers and formula is pretty tough when you're on a budget. And so we have a new diaper ministry here in the community. It comes out of New Zion Baptist. The Fields is Charlie and his wife. It's on her heart, and she's worked with us. And adults need diapers and Depends and things like that, and we've helped with that. People have donated those when their loved one has died, and we've been able to share those with people who could use them. So that's food for thought, but that's working together. So I wanted to give an example of working to help your neighbor. We all want to complain that somebody's not working, or they're living off a check or something. Well, until you meet the people face to face, you don't realize all the barriers. And one of the things St. Vincent de Paul does do is keeps a running list of underlying causes. And we get it once a month of what the major causes were for people that needed help. Transportation in Bracken County is the biggest one. If you don't have a car, how do you get to work? How do you get to the grocery?
Right.
It's a big problem. How do you get to the doctor?
Right.
Second one was poor health and medical needs. And if you don't have a lot of I will meet a lot of clients who are diabetic, and they can't buy the fruit, the kind of meals, the kind of food they need to eat, because the cheaper food is not necessarily healthy. It's lots of carbs.
Yes. Yeah.
And so, fresh fruit, fresh produce, it's hard to buy because that's more expensive. The third thing is the single parent families, and they're not receiving any help from the other parent. And then the last one is low wages. I shared with you that we had a client working at minimum wage, $7.35.
Mm.
Another, usually it's the lowest is in the $10 range or
Mm-hmm.
8, but you know, would be hard to make
Mm-hmm.
that even at 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, what we did, I wanted to share an opportunity that there was a group of us that came together, um, spearheaded by Anna Cummins, um, with her grant writing abilities and Interact for Health. And we sat down, it was community, and we looked at all the problems. And we all first thing said transportation.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went and looked at some other issues, but then we kept coming back to that. So we met with Licking Valley Community Action Program out of Fleming County. And Licking Valley does provide transportation for medical, and you can, depending on your insurance, it might not cost you anything.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll take you to Cincinnati or Lexington, and some clients don't even know about that, so we share that.
Yeah.
But they also will take you to work, and that was kind of a lot of misconceptions about that out there. But you pay for it, you have a cost, and at first, even if you start a new job, you don't have that money to pay them daily or weekly. So we met with Licking Valley, and we worked together, and like St. Vincent might pay 3 weeks of their cost per day, and then maybe another church would pay, and maybe we could find another organization, a service organization that would pay. And then when they get on their feet, like in 3 weeks, we were kind of looking at 3 weeks, then they could take over that cost, or maybe they could get a car or something by that point.
Right.
But Licking Valley's been great to work with us. We had a career fair in July, had a lot of different resources there and companies, and we're looking to get started. St. Vincent, Licking Valley actually transported people to the career fair that day, and we fed them.
Yes, yes.
That's hats off to John Dales in the health department for helping with that.
That's wonderful.
But that's an example of working together when we know there's a problem.
Absolutely.
It's, they don't have the money to do the maintenance they need to do on cars. And so, there is a program in North Kentucky called Samaritan Car Care, and it's run on donations, and United Way and St. Vincent De Paul, lots of different groups contribute. Now, we're not eligible for it, but they do, like oil changes, and they'll help people. And, that might be a goal or a dream I have someday.
Yeah.
But since I have no talent in that area.
Oh. Hey, you could find out anything on YouTube. You could figure out how to fix anything with the car on YouTube.
Okay.
So,
and
mean.
And there's another group I want to, about myself. Why did I, how did I learn this? And as an administrator for 17, well, more years than that in public education, I learned what barriers families had, but I also learned about family resource. And I actually was a program director for family resource in Campbell County. Those ladies, whether it was Campbell, Mason, or Bracken, taught me so much about how to find help to help people. And I just think it's an extension of that knowledge and work I got there, and training from all those wonderful ladies. And we work here very closely with those programs. And the schools will call us when they have someone, or we can call the school to see what they can help with. And we have a great relationship. So if you put your mind to it and you work together, there is help out there.
Absolutely. Yes. Well, Sally, thank you so much again for joining me for this episode. Let's get a round of applause. Thank you so much. And sharing a little more about you and what St. Vincent de Paul is doing in Bracken County. I've had a great time sitting down with you and learning more about yourself and more about the different programs. And initiatives that are offered through St. Vincent de Paul, because I honestly had no idea. I've heard many people talk about it, and I have a friend who's very involved in a chapter in Louisville, a convention and a conference in Louisville. But I had never really known what they're able to do for us. So thank you so much for sharing that. They really do some amazing work in the community, for sure. I hope this was informative and helpful to community members that are listening, and maybe you will see them helping out in some services in the future. So this wraps up the 5th episode of the Bracken Buzz podcast. Hopefully the next episode will be sooner after this one than the last one. But for now, I'm Colin Gerald signing off. Make sure to take care of yourself and each other. Have a good one.